morning again to everyone. Welcome to breakout session 2. Oh, there's something in the background. I hope the audio is okay. I see that Gaurang is reconnecting. I think Gaurang might be reconnecting, so I hope he's there and I hope he can just step in if he wants to mention something. He's messaging me that his computer crashed. Okay, anyway, we will just start and then people can also jump in anytime. So I just start with the introduction again. Sorry for everything. So again, good morning, and I'd like to welcome you to our breakout session. My name is Carina. Good morning, hallo, and willkommen. I'm a PhD student working at the Institute of Genetics at the University of Bonn in Germany. And I would like to do a quick announcement saying that we would like you to note that this session is recorded, and we also encourage you to engage in the discussion by posting your comment or question using the Ask a Question button below in the comment line. We can then invite you to come to the stage and you can share your video if you wish and if it works. Otherwise, feel free to just chat there with us and then we can read out the question out loud. This is a discussion, so we want you to engage and really help us shape the future of NeurotechEU. We will also like to announce our Twitter account, which I will post in the chat. Oh, I see there's an echo problem, which may come from other open tasks. So I can assure you I only have this task open. However, I'm not hearing anyone else now. So for me, it's fine. I really hope that it's okay for you too and it's not horrible sound. So I tested it before and it was okay back then. Okay, I read that people are being redirected to other breakouts. Yeah, this is because the speaker can set up a task to gather all people in one room. But if you would like to come back, then just do so and we are happy to start. So I will quickly invite Gaurang back to the stage and hope that he finds it. Anyway, I guess we will just start. And if you have any suggestions, let me know in the chat. I will scan the chat from time to time. So I would like to introduce the topic. Again, you're here in breakout session 2, which is about the digital heaven. How can we carry research and collaboration in digital space? And to introduce the topic, I would like to mention that this year people all over the world were restricted in terms of mobility due to the current pandemic, and we are all getting to know the digital world for our communication. So the world as we used to know was a multidimensional world in which we interacted to communicate our educational, social, and recreational topics. And due to the pandemic, the current way of communication is very monodirectional way of communication, and thus it's not very efficient. For example, there are online meetings for lectures and even lab practicals. Of course, this is already a huge technical advancement, but now instead imagine having a 3D environment where we would make use of augmented reality, where we can make contacts with our classmates. For example, if we would use some digital goggles where we could just turn our head and see our classmates in lectures and courses. So this is a comment from Gaurang and me. So just we would like to invite you to think big and be creative and let us know what you think, how technology can advance even further and do many more great things. I see that he's now trying to reconnect, but he's still having problems. So I guess just stick with me. Okay, he's there. Okay,
Yes,
I can invite you. Yeah. Oh, I hear him talking. Hi.
Hi, I'm so sorry. My computer decided to stop working at the most convenient time.
No worries. I hear you loud and clear. I just don't see your picture or video. but I guess as long as we hear you, that's also great. If you have a question, maybe just write it in the chat, because I'm scanning that and I can then read it out loud. So what we introduced, the topic was about the digital and technical advancements that were already made. However, now we would like to come to the main point already and ask, how does augmented reality really help us in improving teaching and research? So we would like you to think about maybe not only science related topics, but in like maybe science fiction ideas. So maybe you saw a movie, and it's often that we see a movie that we think it's so far away in the future that we can't even imagine. For example, in some movies, people sleep in baskets and then they wake up and they're on a different planet. Or really think back about a James Bond movie, for example, which is called Tomorrow Never Dies, where it's really fascinating, car driving with super speed, and that can be even become with the tires deflated and then become inflated again. So science has always taken inspiration from science fiction movies. For example, what Gaurang wanted to mention in this moment now was that he was reading in the news that doctors are able actually already to perform neurosurgery at a distance of 500 kilometers away from a patient, thanks to the new 5G technology. So this is really crazy and inspiring. Or maybe imagine having to work in a different institute in a different country and doing actually experiments there. So imagine being in the wet lab. So that's actually what my PhD is about. So I'm doing a lot of biochemistry, for example. So imagine you could have a collaboration with a different university, and without having to travel there for many kilometers, and even now because it's restricted and it's hard to just physically go there, imagine you could just, with this virtual reality, be present, talk to the people. They could show you the lab, they could show you how to run experiments, they could show you how to do a Western blot and you would just stand next to it, or how to dissect a brain from a mouse. All these were examples that came up to our minds, but we are really open also for your inputs. How can we shape technology with respect to neurotechnology? So let us know in the chat, definitely. If you don't want to come to the stage, it's no problem. I feel also that it's maybe safer that we don't have the audio connection problems. I see there is a question. Yeah, exactly. How can we shape technology with NeurotechEU? Just comment or vote if you think this question is important. Finally, his computer is working. Okay, that's great to know. I see he has accepted and he's connecting. Okay. Right, so I think he is invited already to the stage. So as soon as he wants to share anything with us, then he would just speak up, I guess. So I will just continue. Again, let us know in the chat if you have any idea or any comment to make. Yeah, exactly. So we were talking about the examples of being at home, maybe even like now sitting in front of your computer, and at the same time being able to be in a second position at the same time. This would, of course, also be a dream come true for teaching. So you could see your classmates, you could communicate, form little groups during tutorials, and this would really facilitate training of scientists and students in terms of method learning and also soft skills. Now he's texting me that he's not getting the invitation to come to stage. So I'll try that again. It says accepted and reconnecting. Okay, I invited him to come to the screen again. He says he's able to listen and see me. Okay, that's great. Right, so this is where we stop discussing about the advancements that could be come along from augmented reality in terms of teaching and research. Now, the next question would be, how can this be advantages not only for people traveling in general? And we were coming up with a point that is really important nowadays, because imagine being a woman in science, and as a woman, maybe you also want to have a family in some time. And obviously, if you're pregnant, you're not allowed to work in the lab. So we were wondering, how can this technology help us to also empower women to work in science? So we were thinking, if you would have these maybe 3D goggles on, you could be in a lab as a postdoc helping other students while not actually being there. So this would be great during pregnancy, for example, or if you would have to do childcare. So for example, during lockdown, lots of kindergartens are closed, and this would be really advantageous for women in science in general. So this is also one important aspect of NeurotechEU. We want to empower women, and we want to make sure that we have a diversity, so everyone could be present in the lab or in an institute. So this would also mean that people in wheelchairs could also contribute. Think about all these possibilities. Exactly. So it would be maybe easier to do homeschooling of your kids, and then at the same time, as a professor, have a look at your students and see what they're doing. Or as a student, talk to your professor and get some advice while she is not there physically. This leads us to our next point. Can you imagine any drawbacks or hurdles of digital collaboration? Can you think of anything apart from that there might be some technical problems, like we experienced in our session, that sometimes the internet connection or the computer is not willing to do the things that we want to do? Let us know if there's anything that you could think of where you would say this is maybe one point where there's still some help required, or there's still not enough technological advances present. So of course, one point is internet access that is not guaranteed in every country or location worldwide yet. And also, of course, there is a lot of tutoring necessary to actually train scientists in using this technology. If you have any input, let me know. I'm now scanning the chat, and I see that Gaurang is again texting me. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Should we invite someone? Okay, I check. Ask a question. Christina, I will search for you. I only see Christina Müller and Christina Niufaitu. Sorry if I pronounced that correctly. If I did not correctly pronounce it. So I don't see her. I don't know if she mentioned anything up there that okay. Unfortunately, working with kids at home is quite incompatible, even with augmented reality. Yeah, that's true. So maybe one drawback would be that we still need more programs for childcare, so support for women and families in general. I mean, also now it's becoming, thank God, more modern, that also dads are staying at home and they also take a big part of education in their children and to really see them grow up, which I think is great. So that's not like in the old ages where the mother has restricted roles at being present at home, taking care of kitchen and children, but also now people are really able to share the work, split the work, and also enjoy and see their children growing up. Christina Marquez, if you want to come to stage, feel free to do so. If not, also no problem. Happy to receive input from you guys. We still have a few minutes to go. So yeah, what do you think can NeurotechEU do to support digital mobility? So we have a big program to support everyone. So not only students, postdocs, professors, everyone really to encourage and foster collaboration. So what do you think? What could be an improvement to this through the points that were already mentioned in the morning session about having a lifelong training center and yeah, really all these things that he mentioned? Just this was just one example. How can we reach out to everyone? Let us know in the chat. And also, because I see that this session will end soon, please, if you want to, feel free to see us in NeurotechEU by just maybe twittering in the Twitter account, use the hashtag NeurotechEU, or email us. You find all contact details on the website of NeurotechEU. And we would like to invite you to be part of this platform and engage with us. So yeah, imagine seeing your grandparents visiting in the lab. This would be really an inspiration. For example, your relatives could see what you're up to and you could show them, even though they would not be allowed in the lab physically. Just one example, of course, but we hope you feel inspired by this breakout session, and we also hope that you enjoy this day. And yeah, feel free to reach out. Would you like to come to stage for 1-2 minutes? She mentions also the whole experience of attending a conference and workshops would be missing. Right, that's true. Maybe it would be possible to have, even in an online conference, the possibility to engage more during future technology support. Would you like to join Carina on stage? Yes, I invited her, but apparently, she's accepting. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for your for your impact here. There's just one last minute. Would you like to give a quick comment?
Yeah, I was just like, because I had the possibility to, I'm a medical student myself, and I had the possibility to attend a conference, but due to the pandemic, it was not possible to experience actually the whole like environment and to like do also the personal interactions and talk to people, make some new, meet some new people. It's more difficult then. And but also like during the pandemic, it's also a great opportunity to have conferences digital, because otherwise it would be just missing. And so there's a drawback also, but maybe one can find some like something in between. So if you don't have the lockdown, then you could still visit, but for the people who are not able to do it, then this would be a great opportunity to just participate in it. So
yeah, that's a
everyone
great
would profit
comment
from it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your input. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
yes, I saw that there was some.
This. It's really great, and yeah, I'm really interested into this, and yeah, looking forward what is how it's going to develop further.
Okay, yeah, maybe we can stay in contact. I will try to find you.
Yeah.
And then we can message each other. Maybe you would like to join the organization team, or just we can keep you posted.
Yes, I would be really interested in it. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, I think the session will stop soon.
Okay.
It's 10:01 at my clock, so maybe it's also still ongoing. At least I can still see you. I can still see the chat. So I guess we still have a few seconds. So exactly, maybe this is the perfect time to round up. Again, if it crashes now, no problem. So again, we would like to encourage everyone to be a part of NeurotechEU, help to shape the future, and just engage.
Yeah. So just one more comment when we have time, like for the digital innovation, I think from the medical point of view, if you are interested in surgery or anything which is more practical, it's really great if you have like those simulations. And I think in Munich, they also already have like a simulation for doing this neuroradiological procedures. So if you're treating a hemorrhagic bleeding in the brain for with stents and or flow diverters, it's actually really great, because then you have more experience. You're not that anxious if you're doing it for the first time, and I think the patient would benefit from it a lot. Yeah. So there's a lot of potential, and also with the artificial intelligence, if it's this is also improving and accelerating the development. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I wrote down some comments for our roundtable discussion. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Myself, I watched a few YouTube tutorials on how to dissect the spinal cord from a mouse. So it's actually great that this is already possible to do that.
Yeah, imagine if you're having like these VR goggles and like some sensory feedback and stuff. This would be great. And also for pre-surgical planning, also, if you have it in VR, you can see it more closely and have a better visualization in 3D. And maybe you can turn it, and there's like a lot of stuff going on already, but to provide it actually for like everyone and all the hospitals to make it cost effective, I think that's the most important part, so everyone can benefit from it, and not just like private clinics or anything like that. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so thank you again for your input. I think we have to close the session now because I have to go to the roundtable discussion.
Okay.
But it was so nice to see some participation, and maybe see you all in Neurotech.
Had a great time. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.